Welcome to Brave Awareness. I'm Ronn McLean, meditation teacher, author, and poet, and someone who's done their fair share of surviving. This podcast isn't here to teach you how to fix yourself. It's here to remind you that you're not broken. These are spoken transmissions for modern minds, reflections, disruptions, and sacred interruptions. Let's begin. It doesn't start with a collapse. It starts with the smile that you force. The sure I'm down when everything in your body is screaming, I'm not down. Absolutely not down. The night out that you say yes to, not because you want to go, but because you don't want to be the problem. Self-abandonment doesn't always look like destruction. Sometimes it looks like being the easy one, the agreeable one, the one who just goes along. But over time, it costs everything. This episode is about that. Here's the truth. I've been a people pleaser most of my life. Not because I'm some overly sweet, go-with-the-flow kind of guy, but because avoiding conflict has always felt safer than telling the truth. In my mind, asking for what I really wanted meant tension, confrontation, disruption. It meant I'd be that guy, the one making it weird or difficult or inconvenient. And that was my worst fear. Because the last thing I ever wanted to become was what I saw in my parents growing up. Always critical, always judging, always complaining. So instead, I tried to be easy, accommodating, chill. But here's the painful irony. In trying to not create conflict out there, I was creating a war in here. Inside my own body, my own mind. I said yes when I meant no. I smiled when I wanted to leave. I went along again and again, even when it costs me peace. That's not kindness. That's abandonment. Let me tell you what this looks like in real time for me. There have been so many nights that I have agreed to go out, dinner, drinks, friends, laughs. Sounds great, right? But somewhere along the way, I realize this isn't a dinner anymore. It's become a marathon drinking event. And logic has left the building. And here I am, probably stone sober, hyper aware, completely disconnected from the vibe at the table, probably tired, while everyone else orders another round, and another, and another. And the thought that runs through my head is, this is an absolute nightmare. Because I know how this ends. I know that my husband is not going to want to go home. He's going to want to keep going. I know it's going to turn into a whole thing. I'm going to push. He's going to resist. My sister's going to call me the fun police. And I know that tomorrow I'll be managing the fallout. Physically, emotionally, relationally. But the worst part, I saw it coming. And I said yes anyway. Not because I wanted to go, but because I didn't want to be the no. Didn't want to be the buzzkill. Didn't want to be my parents. And so I override, I freeze, I fawn. I tense up so tightly I want to scream while pretending I'm fine. It's cool. It's like standing in line for a roller coaster you know is going to wreck you, and staying in that line anyway, so no one asks you why you're not riding. This is self-abandonment, and it's fucking brutal. What I've come to learn, and I'm still learning it, is this. You don't have to agree to the ride just because everyone else is buckled in. You're not an asshole for saying, that's not for me. You're not selfish for saying, I'd really like to go home. You're not rigid for wanting peace over chaos. You're allowed to say no, not because you're against the people around you, but because you're finally in it for yourself. Self-loyalty isn't a betrayal. It's a return. And yet, people might not get it. They might be confused or even annoyed. But the cost of being misunderstood is still far less than the cost of abandoning yourself. So here's what I'm learning to do, and what I invite you to practice as well. Before you say yes, before you smile and nod, before you override your body, pause. 3 seconds, that's it. And ask yourself, is this a full body yes, or am I just afraid to say no? Am I choosing peace or avoiding discomfort? What will this cost me later? And then honor that answer. You don't need to explain or justify or make it palatable for anyone. You can simply say, I'm going to pass this time. That's not a good fit for me. Thanks for thinking of me. I'm sitting this one out. That's not drama. That's dignity. Here's what I want you to remember. You can't stay in your truth and still belong to every plan. And honestly, you're not supposed to. Because the version of you that keeps nodding along just to keep the peace isn't really at peace. So this week, practice staying with yourself in the moment. Not later, not after, now. Remember, you're not too much. You're not a buzzkill. You're not broken. You're just learning to come home. And the moment you stop abandoning yourself, even just a little, the entire world starts to realign. I'll see you next time. If this opened something for you, stay close. You can subscribe, share it, or just sit with what stirred. Brave awareness isn't a destination, it's a return. I'll meet you there again soon.